basically a recipe from Like My Hair from Olive Garden on the stove. I just made it. It's very easy, very simple. Cooking, and I'm waiting for my husband to come home. Let's talk about Discovery Warner. So yesterday, Jason Kilar announced he was leaving. And on his coattail was the basically head of Warner Brothers, uh, the, the woman in charge, Ann Sarnoff. Let's talk about Ann Sarnoff. Ann Sarnoff was the person who unceremoniously fired Johnny Depp without actually thinking about what she was doing. She's the person who stood by Amber Heard and put up with Ezra Miller's ridiculous bullshit for a while. And now it appears that not only is she gone, but several other people, and that it's going to be very obvious that their Culture Casino said there are indications that Ezra Miller's done, that there was an emergency meeting about him with all the Warner Brothers execs. So, God, I wish you wouldn't do this with my hair. I miss my, anyway. This is going to have ramifications. Ezra Miller's done. Probably Amber Heard. Okay, everyone says AH. I don't know why they're afraid of her. But the other day she absolutely lost her shit. Probably when she realized that. And I gotta tell you something. If you didn't see Jason Kilar and Sarnoff walking out the door, because David Zaslav doesn't want him there, you're out of your mind. If you didn't see them leaving. But there are other people leaving, tons of people. And there will be tons more leaving, okay? Usually what happens in a merger is the guy who's gonna run it, the place, keeps his people that he likes, and the people that were there in the same positions at the company that's being merged with, they're gone. Okay, so it's gonna get real interesting. Okay, now let's talk about Ann Sarnoff. Ann Sarnoff. Well, let's do a search on her just because I haven't done this in a while. So, come on up. Thank you, ma'am. So she's a very top member of the club. Okay, she really, really is. And put that down here. Why are you bothering me? Ick. I gotta close some windows. When I turn this thing on, I gotta close windows. So, here you go. No, I don't want that. Okay, all right, I guess that's, okay. Now, Ann Sarnoff. No! Okay, so let's find her. Let's find her bio. Okay, guys. We'll just go to Wikipedia, that's easy. All right, and then I'll read the New York Times. So, career. Let's talk about this. From 1993, 2003, Sarnoff worked at Viacom. Her first job at Viacom was the corporate development department. After leaving the corporate, she was the head of Nickelodeon Consumer Products and Business, Geraldine Laybourne's leadership of the company. While working at Nickelodeon, Sarnoff was part of a team that created the TV channel Noggin. I don't know what Noggin is. A joint venture between Nickelodeon and Sesame Workshop. Sarnoff also helped create the television channel TV Land, which started off as Nick at Night's TV Land in 1996. Two shows she promoted were Rugrats and Blue's Clues. 2001, she became Chief Operating Officer of VH1 and Country Music Television with the task of integrating the two channels. During her time at VH1, Sarnoff launched the TV channel VH1 Classic. All right, so she became the Chief Operating Officer of the Women's Basketball Association. 2010-2015, she was the Chief Operating Officer of BBC Worldwide North America, where she worked with Herb Scannell, who she had worked with at Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon's a jumping, okay, whatever. She launched a BBC subscription TV channel, BBC Earth, and promoted shows like Doctor Who, Top Gear, Dancing with the Stars, Sherlock, Orphan Black, and Killing Eve. From 2016 to 2018, Sarnoff was head BBC Worldwide's global production network. In 2017, she launched BritBox, streaming service for North America. 2019, she became the first woman CEO, Warner Brothers, a subsidiary of Warner Media. She succeeded Kevin Tsuchihara and reported to John Stankey. Toby Emmerich, the head of Warner Brothers Pictures, and Peter Roth, who's the head of Warner Brothers Television Group. Here's the deal. This woman was a big deal. Now, she didn't have the biography and resume that Kathy Kennedy had, but she's a big deal. She was an untouchable because she's a woman. Zaslav walks in and says, nah, you're gone. This means a lot. Okay, this is huge. Culture Casino said, basically there's rumblings all over the place in Hollywood, not just about Warner. And he talked about Disney. I have a feeling that the next shoe to drop in the drama about people getting hired and fired is going to be at Disney. And I have a feeling that, I said this before on my upload today. If you go watch it, please. I need the views. That don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if JPEG fires those people. Just out and out, just says you're fired. Okay. He was the one, I don't care who says it. Argue with me if you want, you're an idiot if you do. He basically was the one that probably leaked the video of Reimagine Tomorrow to Rusoff. Okay? Rufoff, or whatever his last name is. Rufo. And it is having big. Yeah, he did, Jacob, and I absolutely agree with you. We could be going like this with news coming out. Howdy. Well, with Sarnoff leaving and nobody really being able to stop Zaslav, don't be surprised if if Kennedy gets the axe. I mean, look, I'm going to say this. First off, the idea, and if WDW Pro sees this, I want him to understand, Kathleen Kennedy's nobody to be afraid of anymore. Okay. Last October, that was the last, I think, thing that she did before she got everything taken away from her. So she's already been isolated. And she's been, I think, isolated since last summer. And Cameron and I have had long conversations about that. She's been probably isolated for the last 2 years. Now, could she cause trouble? The Gina Carano mess? Yeah, she can still cause trouble as president of Lucasfilm. But does she have any power over creative decisions? No. And she hasn't for a long time. Again, the way it looks like they're getting rid of her is to sit her off in a corner, waiting for Indy 5 to finish, being, the post-production, and that's it. Okay, that's it. And then she's gone. And I maintain, and I mean this, look at me, that she is going to announce her resignation or her retirement soon. And I think that's basically going to precipitate a lot of people leaving. And there's a position that's going to be open at Warner Brothers. And somebody that Pro mentioned in the video yesterday, who's kind of a problem at Disney, is up for that job. And noted he's a member of the Walter Keitz Foundation, along with David Zaslav. And that's Peter Rice. Okay, if he takes the job, and I think Chapek is going to say, go. And if he does, the people, because under him is where all this amalgamation of bullshit started. Okay, Kennedy had nothing to do with it. I'm pretty sure that, she can't do any harm to anybody. She could go to the PGA Awards and squawk. Doesn't matter. Considering what Matt Bellany wrote about her, she doesn't have a leg to stand on even with the people in that room. Okay? So she's done. I mean, I don't, look. I really take, hey Mexican Iron Man, I really take everything I hear with a grain of salt when it's somebody that doesn't understand the politics and doesn't understand nuance. Okay. Kennedy in that room at the PGA Awards, she's among her people. They all know, because Matt Bellany said so, that she's incompetent. Okay, she's incompetent. The Atlantic article from this year said she's from last year said she's incompetent. Okay, we get that. They know that. They're going to give her awards because, they don't want to embarrass her. And she wants to save face, fine. But she's going to end up like Ann Sarnoff. She's going to be invited to leave if she hasn't been already. Okay, and with Zaslav basically saying, I don't want any of these people. He's giving other people in Hollywood that are CEOs and presidents of companies and chairmen of the boards the impetus to instill their own clean sweep, Operation Clean Sweep. So if Rice takes that job, and pray that he does, if Rice takes that job, Chapek says, I'm not going to refill that job. We're just going to absorb those duties into another part of the company. Then you've got an entire group of people with no boss, no place to be. Okay? You've basically just written them out of the company. I've seen it happen. Okay, I'll give you an example. When I worked at the Leadership Institute, 9/11 happened. And suddenly, because Leadership Institute is a nonprofit, we get donations, people, grants, and like Jane Russell, the actress. I actually had a conversation with her when she was visiting, and I didn't know it was her. I was standing in the receptionist room, and there was a beautiful older woman in this classy suit, and I just said, hi, how you doing? I didn't know who she was. I think she knew it. We had a nice conversation, and my boss walked in, and I was supposed to meet with him because we had some stuff to go over. So I said, excuse me, to her, and I didn't introduce myself, which was stupid, because if she would have said I'm Jane Russell, I would have gone, yeah, it was a long time ago, man, Piranha. I would have probably passed out. My mom loved her. My dad loved her. So I walk in with Jim, and he goes, so what were you and Jane Russell talking about? And I'm like, what? Okay. Those are the kind of people that give money to the Leadership Institute. Anyway, the foundations, and all the money started drying up because the Red Cross, you had other nonprofits springing up, and Salvation Army trying to help people who are affected by the terrorist attacks in New York and D.C. And I saw my job get erased. And it wasn't because I was doing a bad job. It's that you could automate what I was doing, which is what they did. And it was and you get the same results. The only thing you didn't get was hands-on. Your resume sucks. I'm going to help you with it. Okay. I got really good at writing resumes, trust me. So I went to Capitol Hill. I got a job within a week. All right. On Capitol Hill, and I stayed with in Army's office till he retired, and then I went to work for the administration. But that's what happens. So now you've got Rice being one of the nominees for this job at Warner Brothers, and Culture Casino mentioned it, and I'm like, okay, because when he said that name, I'm like, okay. And you gotta remember, Zaslav sits on the foundation with Peter Rice, who sits on the same foundation, Walter Kite, so they know each other. And so does Jason Kilar. And no one, whoever said Hollywood wasn't incestuous and full of nepotism is full of shit, by the way. So if Rice leaves, those people, the Carbon Smiths leave, the LaTonda Newtons leave, the Io Davises leave, and Reimagine Disney gets folded up. Let's talk a little bit about that. Zaslav is giving everybody in Hollywood who wants to fix what's broken courage, to do it. Ann Sarnoff was an untouchable. She's a freaking untouchable, okay? She was one of these people that, think about the dumpster fire movies that have come out because of her. And the dumpster fire decisions. Firing Johnny Depp because she stupidly believed Amber Heard. And Ann Sarnoff is one of those all men are scum women, They're not, but okay, Ann, whatever. Go have fun with that. She's one of those people. So when you've got that going on, okay, and she gets basically shown the door by the new boss. I mean, the picture, the thumbnail, he looks like he would eat your soul. Okay, and actually, Bob Chapek does too. Okay, a CEO that's a really good one has a certain fuck you look. Okay, and they both have that look. I mean, I could see him and I could see Zaslav and Chapek comparing notes. What do I do? Okay, what would you do if you were me? Okay, these are the things that, I imagine a conversation like that would be. And with Ann Sarnoff being unceremoniously kicked to the curb, this tells me, listen closely, this tells me that nobody in Hollywood is safe. And if Culture's right, he said he's got a video coming up about Disney. If Culture's going to say what I think he's going to say, there's going to be a massive change coming in Hollywood. And it is a good change for the fans. Okay? All right? The people that have been causing so much trouble. The LaToya Raveno's and the rest of that shit at Disney. And look, I'm the kind of person who'll sit there and say, you know what, that person's a piece of shit. Okay? All right, I'm sorry. But, look for Victoria, what's her face, to leave, to go. Okay? I mean, that bitch has worn out her welcome. Well, and Mad, you're right. I mean, I have to say this, if Doomcock, if you're watching, your last video about George R.R. Martin, when you said fuck you to him, I was laughing so hard I almost dumped an entire pot of soup all over the floor. I was laughing so hard. I couldn't stop. The way Doomcock says that just tickles me. I don't know why. Anyway, watch. There is a big change coming. And I've been saying that. Cameron's been saying that. And now we've got people who are cynical about it. Culture Casino saying that. All right. You've got, oh yeah, it was. You've got, I'm going to say this, Rupert Murdoch, who, look, if I was in the running and I was in competition with him, I would just say you win. The reason why is because that man is ruthless. He makes J.R. Ewing look like, Pope John Paul II. Okay, no kidding. All right, that old is nasty. Okay, and he's conniving, and he's a schemer, and he knows exactly how to get what he wants. And he is the biggest He is the biggest shareholder at Disney, and he owns the Dow. Okay? He owns the Dow Jones Industrial Average. He owns Wall Street Journal. Okay? Now, I want you to think about that. And I want you to think about, the fact that if he's saying this, and he's got his top opinion writer mocking LaTonda Newton and LaToya Ravenel, and I'll get all the names out because I wrote them all down, and Alan March, and Carrie Burke, and Nadine Smith. If he's got them, if he's got his top opinion writer mocking them, because that's what that was, all right, he is giving, basically, Bob Chapek ammo to go after these people. All right, again, whoever dropped that leak video, the Zoom call, to Christopher Rufo, didn't like any of those people in the video. Trust me, those people did not want you to see that. I have some of it. There was one part Valiant Renegade put up. It was with that woman talking about the parks, and she almost slips up. She was talking about training, like it was mandatory, and now in Florida, Reimagine Tomorrow is illegal. You can't force people to take those courses. Okay? I'll tell you something else. The diversity officer for Warner Brothers was fired today. The diversity officer for Warner Brothers. Okay? All right. That is fucking huge. Okay? That is, the woke is being set on fire and sent out to the street. Okay? I mean, yeah. Okay. So, I think, was it LaTonda Newton? She, is the LaTonda Newton is a diversity officer for Disney. I want you to sit back and think about that. Bob Chapek is going, because David Zaslav, who interestingly enough, sits on the board of a diversity nonprofit organization that's based in D.C., basically said, you're gone. We don't need you. I'll bring my own person in. You look at Discovery and you don't walk away going, those fuckers hate us. Okay? And I gotta tell you, this shit's getting real. This is, he'll replace that person if they even keep the position. Okay? Because let me tell you, if you're looking at a corporate structure, there is no reason to have any of these people within the corporate structure. Okay? None at all. If you've got a company with an HR department that basically sets guidelines for sexual harassment, racism, etc., you don't need Reimagine Tomorrow. You don't need these people. You don't need these people going in and policing what you're putting out there in content. Okay? You don't. These people's jobs are very tenuous. One of the guys, Culture said, that is leaving just basically was just hired recently. And apparently, LaToya Ravenel just signed another contract. Nobody's safe. Nobody. Okay? And that includes Kathy Kennedy. You know, again, I'm going to say it. I don't care what anyone says. You know, that the guy with the ginger with the outpost, the guy with the big beard, he's skinny, in the people who play games. Okay, I don't care what they think. I believe Kennedy was already invited to retire last October, because everything that she has been canceled or pushed back. Again, go and look, if you've got it, go and look at IMDb Pro. All right. The Acolyte is slipping in rankings. It's now down to 16,000. And the little bipolar actress, whatever she is, whatever she thinks she is, whatever she believes she is, I don't indulge people in their fantasies like that. Okay? I don't. You know, it's like me getting yelled at today for putting a green sick face under a thing. Look, tell what happened. I'm at the salon, and, you know, as you can see, my hairdresser, she did a really good job with the color, but she kind of went crazy. Vanity Fair posted a picture of some actors talking with Ellen Page. Now, I said Ellen. Her name is Ellen, okay? I don't care what operation she had. I don't care the fact that she had her boobs chopped off. Her name is Ellen, okay? She is, no matter what she thinks, no matter how many, you know, hormones she takes every morning, she still has an XX chromosome, okay? Okay, she's not a boy, she's not a man. Yeah, exactly, Jacob. So I'm not going to indulge her in her fantasy. So I put a green sick face underneath it. And what's really funny, it was a bunch of guys attacking me. And I'm like, you know, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, to them. You know, I'm not going to indulge these people, okay? But I think these last Academy Awards, this is the final straw. All right, I think Hollywood looked at itself and said, what have we done to ourselves? You know, Jacob, I think that probably no one did. I mean, really, sometimes people just, you know, there's something wrong with them. And, you know, there's nothing you can really do about it. I wouldn't doubt she was molested as a kid. You know, somebody confused her, all right? You know, Chastity Bono, when she went through and did all that stuff, broke her mother's heart. Now Cher supports her, but still, it's the ultimate fuck you to your parents. It really, really is. It really, really is. It's self-loathing, and it's mutilation. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to indulge someone who's got that many problems. Okay, I'm not. I don't do that. And the reason why I don't do that is because it's wrong. You shouldn't do that, okay? You know, and the idea that everyone is supposed to stop and take part in that fantasy, I'm sorry. You know, I don't know any. I really, really don't. Maybe I'd be surprised. Maybe someone in high school, you know, if I ever went to a reunion, one of the, you know, the top player on the basketball team shows up in a dress, and his name is Marge or something. I'd be like, looking at my friends going, I didn't see that coming. It's not cool. But you gotta understand, Hollywood is looking at itself right now going, what have we done to ourselves? For the last 6 years, no, 7 years, since 2015, 8 years, we have seen a decline in elegance, class, storytelling, and basic human dignity. Okay. And now we're seeing things changing, and it is going to change rapidly. Okay. It is going to change rapidly. All right. You're going to see people gone. And which is why when I saw that Sarnoff left with no, I wanted her to stay, but Zaslav didn't say a word. He didn't say a word. Why should he? He saw what she was doing, shrugged. I really'd like you to leave. You know, there you go. And this is my thing. Don't be surprised if you hear at Star Wars Celebration, Kathy fucking Kennedy announce her resignation, and Bob Chapek himself walk out and announce the new president of Lucasfilm, and it won't be a woman. It'll be a white guy. And I'm going to say this again, I'm going to piss off a lot of people, but I believe it'll be Jon Favreau. Why not? If John Lasseter could oversee Walt Disney Studios, Pixar, and I think Walt Disney Animation, why couldn't Jon Favreau look over and oversee as president of Lucasfilm, and then monitor the content of Marvel, etc. And don't be surprised when when Negan's baseball bat starts flying around Disney, that Pixar gets put up on the block. Well, how do you eliminate people who are bullshitters, dumpster fire human beings, garbage? You sell it. You can't fire if you can't fire them. Now you could, and in a normal world, JPEG would be in his right to say, "You're fired." That is insubordination. You are fired. There's no reason why he can't, Matt Piranha. I mean, George Lucas did it. Okay, you guys seem to think that being the president of a movie studio is some sort of, you sit behind a desk all day and look at numbers. They have a lady named Momita Sengupta, who is there counting numbers. Okay, you got Dave Filoni, who's head of all creative. No problem for Favreau to come into the office with a new script. All right, work on an outline with another writer. No problem. George Lucas did it. It's a big job, and it's a lot of it's administration. But if you've got talented people beneath you, there's no reason why he can't do it. All right, there's no reason why. So, and the reason why I believe it's him is because of the fact that even with the mediocre showing of the Book of Boba Fett, he's been getting praise from Disney. Okay, the right people at Disney. So my thing is, I think she's been invited to retire. Okay, they gave her this extension, and they took away everything that she was doing beyond Indiana Jones 5, and I don't even think she was allowed to touch that anymore, because again, no pictures of her during when the movie wrapped at all. We may see some later, but I doubt it. Okay, last picture of her that I've seen recent, besides her squawking at the PGA Awards, was her at Galaxy's Edge. Okay, I mean, and the thing about it is, I think when you look at pictures of her, this woman is in denial. She's in a lot of pain. Okay, I would say I feel sorry for her. I don't, but I would say I feel sorry for her. And the reason simply is she's got a heavy row to hoe with herself. When you see pictures of her with George, she's not happy. This is not a woman who's thrilled to be there, all right? And George, well, he never looks thrilled, so God knows what he's thinking. But so I think that she's been invited to retire, and I think she's taking it, all right? And WDW Pro saying that she was afraid. Not seeing that she was, or that Chapek was afraid of her is hilarious. I mean, it's like, dude, you've got to get out and observe office politics more, okay? This is Game of Thrones, Julius Caesar, fucking Sun Tzu, Karl von Clausewitz, Machiavelli shit going down, and that woman is too dumb to figure it out, okay? She doesn't know shit about what's going on, and she's only aware of what of herself. She's literally got her vision only goes about that far, okay? All right, she's unhappy, she's a narcissist, she's fixated on her legacy, okay? And, she's full of pride, but it's the wrong kind of pride. Yeah, Jacob, I think you're right. I really, really do. And I think that contract basically stipulates that you don't have anything to do. You're sitting over there and be quiet. And we'd really like you to retire, because we really want to go in and clean house at Lucasfilm and get rid of these dumpster fire human beings that you brought with you. Well, yeah, it would be. But with people like her, it's not necessarily the money, it's the prestige, it's the name, it's the reputation. And, I don't know if Mexican Iron Man is still listening, but after reading the Puck article that Matt Maloney wrote, where he basically said they need to take Star Wars movies away from her, that was not his opinion. That's the stuff from everybody he talks to who are in the club, okay? And the end of it was complete sarcasm. Well, yeah, and Matt Piranha, you're right. But when you look at what she did to George's legacy, it's karma, all right? What you put out in the universe is what you get back. And what she put out in the universe, Star Wars sequel trilogy, Reylo, butchering Han and Luke like that, their characters, and then them butchering Leia like that, she gets everything tenfold back, okay? And, her husband, he's got documentaries coming out, he's doing all this stuff. He don't care. He was at the PGA thing. He was at the Austin, Texas Film Festival. SWSX or whatever they call it. And I'm like, you know, so my thing is the Sarnoff, and she was fired. Okay, I'm not going to give her, I'm leaving because, you know, South by Southwest, you're right. Okay. She wasn't invited to stay. Okay. She's basically told you're out. So she left. And there's everybody in Hollywood going, that's how you get rid of these nincompoops and parasites. Okay. Okay. And again, I think because of just what we know in the news, the facts, that Kennedy doesn't have any power at all. Her name, she can instigate trouble. Okay, I mean, I would not put it past her to be sitting, at her desk in Malibu or Pacific Palisades, wherever they live. I think they live in Malibu on the beach, drinking Chardonnay and, typing text messages to Reimagine Tomorrow, giving them ideas to fuck with JPEG. Okay, look, he came in and fucked her over. But Iger came in, Iger was there and helped him. Okay, look, Iger screwed her over and he screwed JPEG over. He screwed JPEG over by leaving Reimagine Tomorrow and all these LGBTQ mafiosos where they were, okay, and setting that up, because he did. He screwed Kennedy over by basically, hey, in 2018, I'm going to stick to this for the rest of my life. She was worried John Lasseter was going to take her job, okay? And they could not find anybody to take that job because at the time, firing people at Lucasfilm would have been really tough, okay? Now, if you'd started a merger, Lucasfilm with somebody else, the new CEO could come in and fire those people and they wouldn't have anything to say. But a new boss just can't come in and say you're fired. You know what I'm saying? At least back in 2018. So we got her whether we wanted to or not because no one was going to take that job. Okay. This time, again, because we don't have any official word, I'm not so sure that she's really the president of Lucasfilm anymore. We have to take Pro's word for it, but it's like, but where's the official announcement? And again, her husband retweeting a retweet of Matt Maloney's article. That's not a official word, okay? It's admissible court evidence, but it's not enough to convict. You know what I'm saying? What else is going on here? The fact that I'm very confident, did not go to watch the last few scenes of Indy 5 being filmed. I'm sure she wasn't there. I'm sure that she hasn't had anything to do with any of this. I mean, the Acolyte credit, it's at 16,400 and something. If you're on IMDb Pro, check it out. That movie's dead. That show's dead. All right? They don't want to make that shit. Anyway, I gotta go. Hubby's gonna be home pretty soon. And you guys, be good, be well. And we'll see what else drops in the next few days. Don't be surprised if you start seeing Disney putting people on the chopping block. Steph signing out. I'll see you guys around the galaxy.